afternoon to you. Welcome to another edition of Saturday Tech Live. Thank you so much for joining us. It has always been a pleasure having you here. Thank you for the love and support that you have showed us so far. We appreciate it so much. Joining me today is a brand strategist and a business development manager. She's joining me live all the way from Eldoret. We do all it takes to bring you nothing but the best because we care about you, we care about your business. She's going to introduce herself in a while. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you do so. Hit that notification bell. Keep the conversation lively on our live chat. If you have any question, any comment, we appreciate your feedback. So to my guest, thank you so much for making time for us. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you too, Monica. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Very well. Thank you for having me on the show. I feel very honored. Yes, and I look forward to an exciting discussion today.
Amazing. We also appreciate for making time for us. So please introduce yourself to our viewers and tell them a short description about you.
So my name is Mercy. A brand strategist and a business development executive. I've worked with Deep Africa. Actually, 22nd of September this year marked 12 years. Oh, yes. Is that 10 or 12? 10 years. From 2012 to now is 10 years. So I feel pretty amazing. I have learned a lot on the job, and it has been a very amazing journey working with our clients, providing IT solutions that are meant to help their businesses grow. So yes, essentially that's who I am, and that's what I do with Deep Africa.
So amazing. So our topic of discussion today is tech and motherhood. I understand you're a mother and you best fit for this discussion. So we are looking forward to learn more from you. So to start with, let us start from the beginning. I know you're a mother, and you can tell us how has been motherhood journey mean to you? Are you enjoying it? Tell us more about it.
Okay, so yes, I think the moment you become a mom, it starts a very exciting, life turns into a very exciting but nerve-wracking adventure. And very fulfilling, but you have a lot of things to keep up with, growth milestones. You have feedings that are literally around the clock, diaper changes, up and downs to keep track of. So essentially, once you become a mom, your life is just, all those activities wrapped up into one. But despite all that, it's a very fulfilling journey to walk, to be able to give life to a child, to be able to nurture a child, to be able to impact a child. I would say, it's extremely rewarding. So I enjoyed every step of it. And at this point, I'd also like to mention that I'm very grateful to, my colleagues, my team, for giving me the opportunity to be able to enjoy a very extended maternity leave, to be able to take care of my little ones and nurture them at this very critical point in their lives. Yes.
Amazing. Today we are talking about the impact of technology in the biological and social process of motherhood. That is right from the stage where you planning to have a baby, being expectant, giving birth, and now raising the children, right?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. So how has technology impacted the biological and the social process of motherhood? Has it changed? How has it changed your journey?
I think being in the tech space right now, I am truly grateful to the impact that technology has had to my journey. And I think part of the responsibility we have here through this show is just to pass information and empower, especially at this particular point, other moms, so that their journey is smooth and fulfilling and still very worthwhile, and to give them the opportunity to have the info to provide the very best for their kids. So I think at this point, I'd just like to say a few things about the impact that technology has had on my journey, right from the decision to become a mom. So at this point, you would start from the process of planning to conceive. Technology has gotten us to a point where it's possible to be very organized with that whole process. There are apps that help you keep track of everything that is required for you to know, when would I like to have a baby? Am I ready for this? So there are apps that will help you plan all the way from, the biological aspect of it in terms of your body and, your readiness for it. And then you would go all the way into, financial planning, the social aspect of it and all that. So in my own case, I had an app that would help me preconception, just to know, what would be the most ideal time to have a baby. And at this point, there's a lot of it that is attributed to a higher being. But I would also say technology plays a critical role in just giving us the ability to be empowered and to feel part of that process, that it's not accidental. And once you have that in place, you feel calmer, you feel in control, especially if you're a new mom. You do not feel like there's too much information being, thrown at you and you do not know where to begin. The other advantage I saw with technology is I was able to track the growth and progress of my baby right from, week one. So, I'm at week one, I'm at week two, I'm at week three, all through the 39 or 42 weeks of pregnancy, which made the whole process pretty exciting. I had very engaging discussions with my gynecologist. I was able to get information, know exactly what to do. And I'd just like to mention at that point, I used an application called Baby Center. I found it extremely helpful, that I would not forget anything, that would keep track of the progress. So even if the journey sometimes would be, included, would come with morning sickness and fatigue, an app helps you to know that this is normal, and you have a community of other players around you and across the globe who share your journey and are able to celebrate those steps with you. So you get all the way to, preparing for labor, you're very prepared for it. So of course they can't prepare you for exactly what the experience would be, but they will tell you, things to expect. And therefore you don't go into the process blindsided. You're prepared for what is coming. So psychologically it plays a very critical role on you as a person, which I think is a very good thing. And then after that, the journey goes on into tracking, the growth of your baby week by week. And you would go further into apps that help you track feedings, diaper changes, immunizations, activities, milestones, and all that. And generally, I think I would say it almost felt like, the way they say, this mom has experience. I felt like I was building that experience every day. I was walking through the pregnancy journey so that by the time my baby arrived, I feel pretty empowered. And technology played a significant role there, because not only am I getting information from an app, which of course is already customized for me, it's already synthesized in a way that I can understand. You're also getting feedback and insights from other communities that are on Facebook, that are on Twitter, Instagram information, communities, live webinars. So the whole thing just becomes a journey of empowerment. And information is power. So I think all these things just make the whole journey easier to bear. And I would really encourage moms to, adopt technology into the whole process of raising babies. Yeah.
I was talking to a certain friend of mine. She's a mom, and she told me, like, technology. I was just asking her, doing some sample questions, and she could tell me, like, every time her child cries at night, and she touches her the baby, and she feels she has a fever or something, she'll just Google what might be the cause of of such symptoms to the baby. So it is good. It is evident that technology is helping mothers raise their children, in also help them to know exactly what or how to raise the child in an informed way. Is that right?
Yes, I like what you're saying that technology helps us make informed decisions. So, what I was saying is like every other tool, it needs to be used with caution. That if you suspect your child is unwell, you do not, entirely rely on Google to make a decision all the way. You still need the intervention of a qualified pediatrician. But then the beauty about technology is if it's correctly used, then you're more informed, which makes you better prepared, and therefore you're able to make better decisions. Okay. So most of the times, if you're up to date with where technology is at, you're up to date with your baby's milestones using an app, for instance, it helps you, navigate through the whole process in an easier way, which makes the whole journey, easier, more exciting, and not as overwhelming as it would be, especially if you're a first time mom. Yes.
Oh, nice. So tell us, how has technology now changed or our approach towards
Mhm.
motherhood, or how has it empowered you as a mother?
Okay, good. I like that question a lot. So I'll talk about a few things, especially that it helped me a lot. The first thing and how it empowered me is, when you become a new mom, there's a lot of advice you won't believe. Every single person has something to tell you about how to raise your child, how to breastfeed, whether to bottle feed or breastfeed directly, whether you should, how you should carry the baby, how often the baby should sleep. There's so much information bombarding us at that point. Number two, what sometimes, even if it's well intentioned, the information comes at us at a point where we actually just need support. We really don't care about your strategies or what worked for your baby because every baby is different. I will tell you that because I have two, and they are completely two different, unique human beings. So, what I liked about technology is it got me to a point where I was able to know, what to expect, what to anticipate, what science says about certain aspects. Because the beauty about it is there are articles you'd read about, maybe, let's say, something like breastfeeding, and they would be backed by science and backed by research. And when you read carefully through that, you would understand, exactly how should I breastfeed? What does it take to have good milk supply? Why is it important to breastfeed? So by the time you're getting all this information, you have very well guarded mental filters that allow you to be a more confident mom, to be more settled. You're not getting into unnecessary arguments with, relatives and friends who are well meaning, yes, but they are sending too much information your way. So I think I love that technology has empowered me a lot to be able to make better decisions and to parent and do the mothering journey in my own style. Okay. So of course it will come with its own flaws here and there. And a good human being would be open to criticism that is positive. But then I like that I already have information to work with. There's a base. And that's what technology has done for me. The second thing is it has helped me keep up with tracking, especially milestones. Sometimes you never know at what point should a baby have teeth, at what point should a baby sit, at what point should a baby have head control, at what point should they eat, at what point, is this normal diaper output, things like those. And technology these days has gotten to a very detailed level of walking the journey with you to the day, to the day. They will tell you on this day your child is maybe 5 weeks. This is what you should be expecting. Of course, leave room because children are different depending on how they were born, where they were born, the circumstances, and all that. So I love that it empowered me a lot. And it has changed me into becoming a more confident mom. And therefore, I am more present for my babies, which makes me feel really, really fulfilled. Yeah.
Oh, that is nice because indeed it helps us to know better our children, our kids more better and
Mhm.
understand them more. Is that true?
Yes, that is
Yeah.
very true. That is very
Okay.
true. Just
Mhm.
something I'd like to quip in there before we go too far is at times again, I would still emphasize do not over rely on technology. Use it in moderation, like everything else. It is not an answer sheet to your child. It doesn't help you know your child. It just provides better information. So there's a lot more understanding going on in the background when you combine that information plus your physical and actual interactions with your baby, then you become a whole human being. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Let's talk about parenting, the challenges that you face as a parent during
Mhm.
parenting. You see, for
Mhm.
example, when you're raising our children, we have internet. Internet is all over. How do you
Yes.
you have to control your child from accessing, you see, because internet is all over you, and you have to prevent children from accessing what they're not supposed to access in the internet. What are
Yes.
some of other challenges that you face
Mhm.
um, through internet and technology while parenting?
Okay. So I think the first I think I would say is the internet has become so much a part of our lives these days. And I think the biggest challenge with parenting, as an adult, I'm comfortable, I'm able to use the information with an informed filter. I know what to let in and what to keep out at this point. However, one of the biggest challenges is, especially for my 2-year old, who's gonna
Yeah.
turn 3 very soon, we are at a point where kids are able to navigate a mobile device. They are able to go through apps. They know what apps to watch, what apps to not watch, what is fun for them. So of course the biggest challenge is screen time. So experts would give advice on aspects about screen time, and that advice sounds awesome, but on the ground it's not so easy to implement. And especially if you're a mother of, like, let me give, in my case, I have a 2.5-year old and then I have a 6-month old. It is crazy. So you'd find yourself sometimes you're lost on your 6-month old, and you just need breathing room from your 2-year old, because at that age a 2-year old is all over you. So sometimes they will be on a device for too long and you might not really know exactly what content they are watching. And even if that content is for kids, you do not know it's appropriate for this particular age. Okay. So one of the biggest challenges, of course, has been that there's this information coming in from all over and the child is able to navigate. So you want to control, yes, but it might not be practical to say you'll be able to control this all the time, every day. So, of course, again, technology provides a solution for this, where it allows us to either cap screen time or be able to limit children to the apps they can use. You can even get to an extent of controlling the access to internet at particular points and for a specific period of time. But then, of course, sometimes that is not always the case. So I think that's the biggest challenge. And the other last thing that I'd like to just quickly speak about is information overload. Sometimes, yes, information is good, but when it's too much, it becomes, it puts us in a position of paralysis of choice. You do not know exactly what is right, what is not right. So sometimes you find yourself in that situation where there's too much information, you do not know what to do, you don't know what's true, what's not true. So that can be quite a bit of a challenge. But now that's where human intervention comes in, because then I would have conversations with my children's pediatricians, see what they have to think, what do they have to say, and so yeah, those would be the biggest challenges that I would have faced with technology. And you would wish that the situation is perfect, but that's not always the case, as any mother would attest to. Yeah.
Well, I know these mothers are watching, and
Mhm.
I would like you to talk to them, give them a takeaway, encourage them, those who are to use technology in all
Mhm.
to raise their children, because I have seen, as per the discussion,
Mhm.
it is clear that technology is helping mothers out there to raise their children, and talk to them, just give them a takeaway, even as we come to a conclusion.
Okay, so I hope to not say too many things in my takeaway so that my message is clear. But tech is the future. That is an undeniable fact. We cannot run away from it. I love that that is where we are headed because there's so much good that technology can do if it's well utilized. My takeaway would be let the journey with technology for a mom begin from the point where, when you're having the decision to have a baby, because when you're prepared, then you're a better mom. There are things that will be thrown your end, but you know exactly what to expect, so you're better prepared. So what I would encourage is, let us embrace technology and make the best of it. In my case, there are apps I specifically use to help me keep track with all these things so that I'm able to efficiently keep up with my 6-month-old and my 2.5-year-old effectively. So my encouragement would be, let us use these gadgets to our advantage. They help us a lot. They give us information, and information is power. And with that power, there's so much we can do for our children. When our children know that we are confident, we are empowered, we've got this under control. It is the same spirit that we pass on to them, of course. So it helps us build better citizens because then we pass on that confidence. They can detect our confidence, and therefore we pass on that confidence to them, which in turn leads to a better society overall, because healthy children means a healthy nation. Yeah.
Sure.
That is what I would say. So it's not something that we can unpack in a single interview. I think it would require a lot of sessions with other moms who can share their feedback. But I think for me, I would say let us embrace technology and use it to our advantage to become empowered moms and navigate the world better. Yeah.
Wow, wow. So, moms out there, if you have any questions, any concern, please feel free to reach out. We'll be glad to hear from you, to get your feedback, and we'll be glad to answer you and have even more session to talk about this, because I know we can talk more about it, right? So, thank you so much, Marcy, for making time for us. We appreciate it so, so, so much. Yeah, and if we call you next time, please don't don't fail to come and even join us here and talk one-on-one. So
I
we
will be
appreciate it.
delighted. And thank you so much for having me to have the opportunity to share this session with you.
We appreciate it so much. So, guys, that's all that we had for today. Please don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms. That is at Deep Africa World, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at Deep Africa World. We are also on TikTok, Deep Africa. Visit our website, www.deepafrica.com. We have a live chat any time of the day. Chat with us. We love helping our clients. We love talking to you. We'll be glad to hear from you. So until next time, same place, same time is goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.